I'm Javuan Banks, #1 salesman of the year, confirmed by Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks approved, and we're gonna get
Tom
into
Hanks
that.
approved.
You gotta do a dance. Let me see that dance, bro. Let's get that dance.
The-
Two step, not gonna two step, not gonna two step. Hey, hey, stop him right now. He just pin dropped. Oh man.
Thanks for being on the show, Javon. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem, my boy Russ. Flips, whips. You know how we do, man. Let's
How's
go.
how's your new job?
My new job at Premier Autos of Dallas. Slight little promo. It's great, bro. It's
Yeah,
great.
I
I
was
mean, like, I feel like a boss, bro.
I was a little nervous for you when you first went there because I know you were at your old store. They like were on board with all the content you were making, and then all of a sudden, really quick, they were not on board with the content you're making. Walk me through that kind of more in depth because we talked about it, but like you kind of gave me the cliff notes. I kind of want to hear the whole story.
For sure. For sure. For sure. So basically, like I said, I told him all about my social media. I actually sent them my media kit when I was getting hired. So that should just tell you everything. Like you have my full media kit, my guy. And so they were on board with it. Everybody in the store was on board with it. I'm doing my thing, making videos, going viral. Boom, one day the board says, "Hey, there's this guy like making videos like in the dealership." They're like, "Yeah, like his name's Javon. He's doing great."
Yeah.
They're
Have you
like,
seen his
"Yeah."
media kit?
There we go. Have you seen? See what he's charging these people? But yeah, so they were like, "Well, we want to kind of put a stop to it until we take a further notice." So like then I couldn't even post content. And then I'm like, "Bro, can I post like customer testimonials? Like you're just shutting me down completely." So it was like a terrible experience. And then we talked to the board, had all these meetings with the board. At the end of the day, I couldn't make my skits, so I had to make a decision. I was like, "Well, the skits are my lifeline of what we built. The customers, the people love them, so we got to keep it." And so we just had to make a decision. And then Premier, the owner, his name's Mickey, reached out to me and basically was like super on board, was already watching my content. He already reached out to try to recruit me when I was first getting hired over at the other store.
Yeah.
And I just didn't see the DM. And so like once we talked, I got to feel the environment over here and we made it happen. And I mean, it's been love. I mean, I'm helping him make content.
Isn't that fun? Helping the owner make content.
It's crazy fun, man. I love it.
They he's gonna get it really quick. I don't know if he's getting it already, but helping Mr. Biondi, the owner of my store, make content has been a challenge, but it's been fun.
Yeah, I mean, I see what y'all got going over there. It's lit, bro. And then you got your own page, the Biondi Lincoln page. Like,
Yeah, we're trying to be different. Like we don't want to be like the George Saliba, the Alex, because like like they're doing a great job. I'm not saying like they're not worth copying, but we don't want to copy. So we're just like letting our creativity flow, and we're making these like sometimes like normal basic videos, and sometimes they're like so off the wall. Like, did you see the one where we sang the song like no printer, no car wash? No
yeah,
heat?
yeah.
And we like made a song out of it.
That was fire. And then the cup, like the heaviest cup,
Oh yeah,
that was fire.
as
I
Mr.
like that.
Biondi calls it, the cup of plenty.
The cup of plenty. Man, I love that guy. Mr. Biondi's, man, he got the, what do they call it? Biscottis?
He is the #1 biscotti salesman in all of Pennsylvania, and I will
can
put
believe
my
that.
life on that.
I can believe that. I can believe that. That's
So-
that's Russ Flips Whips verified.
Walk me through, just for anyone listening. I'm sure pretty much everyone listening knows who you are, but in case we have one person who like doesn't have a phone and doesn't know who Javon Banks, and walk them through who you are, what you do, how many followers you have, the whole kind of pitch me on who you are.
Yeah, man. I'm Javuan Banks, #1 salesman of the year, confirmed by Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks approved, and we're gonna get
Tom
into
Hanks
that.
approved. Yeah, Tom Hanks approved it. So Capital One approved it as well. But no, I just I sell cars. I started off at Nissan, making some skits, just being me, getting in front of the camera. They started blowing up like crazy. I stuck with it, was consistent. Then me and you kind of clicked. You recognized some of my vids. We already kind of knew who you were, but we were still on the come up,
Yep.
And then we kind of just came up together, and I basically just took that brand that I've made and was able to, elevate. And I'm still selling cars. I sell pre-owned cars, luxury, highline cars. I can get anything you want, but I just sold a Porsche today. So shipping it out to New Orleans, we are doing a lot of nationwide shipping. So that's me in a nutshell. And I make comedy skits. I think I make the funniest. comedy skits in the car business.
Debatable, but not a time
It
for
is
that.
debatable. It's debatable, but I mean, if you ask me, like, I'm gonna say me.
I think I'm pretty funny, but I don't know.
You
You
are
might be
funny. You
funnier.
are funny. I
You
think
might
we're a
be.
yin yang. I think together, like the collabs we did, they
They all
always bang.
banged.
They all bang.
Yeah, million views on the one where I wear the old Neve jacket. If you don't know what old Neve is, you got to go to my TikTok and find. I did like three. I did like 2 million because I did 1 million on TikTok and Instagram.
Exactly. And then we got our first one, our most. I don't know if it's the most view, but it was a banger. A lot of
Yeah,
the
at
one of the
Schaumburg.
different salesmen
Yeah, how
with
many that?
Diller Play Guy before he came up and became Diller Play Guy.
Yeah,
We had Diller Play Guy in
dude,
there.
that's like the equivalent of somebody's like first gig on SNL, and then they like make it big.
Like we really put him on. That's my guy though. I like Diller Play Guy.
He was on my last podcast.
I know. I did see
So
it. But yeah, that's
like,
Javon Banks.
what do you accredit this major success? I didn't check your follower count today, but I know you're creeping up on 600K on TikTok. I know you just hit 100,000 subs on YouTube. You were about a week behind me, so you were playing catch up on those 100K subs. That's okay though. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was. So funny thing about that, I feel like I would have been a lot higher on YouTube, but they changed their algorithm.
I
Uh,
know your secret was working. You put me
yeah,
on that secret, and
yeah,
then I started doing it, and then they changed it real quick too. So
yeah,
I
bro.
pivoted. I pivoted real quick because you and no disrespect, but when we were in Schaumburg, you had like 85,000 subscribers, and I only had like 70,000. And then I ended up beating you to 100K. It's okay. I wasn't keeping track or nothing.
I mean, no, you were always ahead of me, my guy.
I don't think I
You
was.
were always ahead of me, my
I
guy.
think
I
you
know
had
it.
me beat in Schaumburg.
Bro, you had like 77,000 for a minute though. Like 60, 77,000 for I was like on the come up. And then in Schaumburg, I think I was showing you my stats. I was like, you
Oh
got
yeah,
more, but
you
like
were. It
my
was the
stats,
stats. You're right. You had like
my
30 million views in a month, and I had like
yeah,
5
yeah,
million.
yeah. So like I was always behind, but then that strategy was working, and then they changed it, and I haven't figured out a way to pivot while keeping my content, like just being able to post my content, put it on YouTube. I haven't figured out a way to pivot yet, so I got to figure that out still. But all these social media apps, they have their own little different ways that you have to target the algorithm and what works. Like LinkedIn, you can't post the same caption on LinkedIn that you can on YouTube, and vice versa on
Yeah,
TikTok.
you gotta
So it's
type
like you
a
got to
long
learn.
paragraph on LinkedIn.
you know. So I'm still learning it, but yeah, no, for sure. I think across all platforms, we're probably close to a million.
What do you think's more important when it comes to creating content? Creativity or consistency?
Good question. Very good question. I think they are both very equal. Very equal. I mean, you can't have one without the other. You can't be consistent, but it's not creative. You can't be creative, but not consistent, because you won't flourish in social media.
Mhm.
It has to be a yin yang.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they are both super important. I think me and you are like I think what's impressive about the what we have done with our platforms that you can't say about some other creators, and it's no disrespect, but we built huge brands based on our face, our names, and our creativity, not necessarily because we have cool cars to show off. Now, I know you do have them in your videos, but it's never like the focus point. It's
Right.
never like, hey, I got a Bugatti, let's go check it out. Like a
Yeah.
monkey could walk around a Bugatti and a million people might
I mean,
just watch
that's
it.
a fact. That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Like we have
And
built,
like,
go ahead.
no, I mean, not to interrupt, but like, you're selling Lincolns. I was selling Nissans, and we built the brand off of ourselves, our face, and the product we sell. But it wasn't like a main focus, like you said. So I agree.
So walk me through because I gotta know. I mean, this is just crazy. I was there when it happened, but the people listening probably are like wondering what the heck we were talking about earlier. Tom Hanks named you salesperson of the year. How the hell did that happen?
I mean, like real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? Like people, real just recognize real. And Tom, a real cool dude. I know him real well. Shook his hand, and everything. Took a picture and everything. So like he. But honestly, Capital One invited me to their event. I was the number one Muse user in the nation. So I was just driving a lot of traffic, selling a lot of cars through their platform. And I did like a campaign for them as well. So once they realized this, they were like, "Can you come out to like this event? Tom Hanks is going to be there. Blake Shelton's going to perform." And I was like, "I mean, of course. And they had me like on the red carpet. I really feel like a celebrity out there, not gonna lie. I really did. And I came out there and I'm sitting front row and Sanjeev, he's the finance president, like over like finances in Capital One. And he goes like, and great day for you. We have the salesman of the year sitting right here, Javuan Banks. And so then me and Tom have a full conversation while he's on stage. I'm sitting down. And he's like, get up here. So now I'm like, oh my goodness, it's all these people. I stand up. I didn't want to like climb up on the stage because I didn't know how that was like, I don't know. So I kind of stood there.
You probably got tackled by security.
Man, like I'm not trying to get tackled over here. So shook his hand. We talked. He was asking me some questions. And then we made like some nice funny banter back and forth that didn't get recorded, but yeah, that's how that happened. And it's like that's why you're salesman of the year. And then we took a picture. That was great.
Now, I don't even know if you remember this. So, me and you went out that night for some celebratory drinks, and I went to get pizza, and you went somewhere else. And then I end up pulling you out of that somewhere else, and we're about to grab an Uber home. And you remember the hotel? You know what happened in that hotel? You probably don't remember.
I do.
This is a funny story. I got to tell it to the listeners. So me and Javuan, we walk into a hotel. We just want to use the bathroom real quick. Uber's maybe 10 minutes out. We're like, just got to take a leak real quick. And there's these nice 3 ladies at this hotel, and it's like midnight, whatever time it was. I don't remember. And we're like, hey, can we use the restroom? And they're like, no, only people who are staying here can use the restroom. And Javuan, in his maybe drunken state, goes, I'm salesman of the year, certified by Tom Hanks. What you mean I can't use your bathroom? And these 3 ladies are like, what? Like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, Tom Hanks said I'm salesman of the year today. And the one girl goes, you showed me a video of Tom Hanks saying you're salesman of the year. You can use any bathroom you want in this building. And well, Javuan pulled out the proof.
I'm like, hey, here we go. And Russ, don't say it so humbly. You was right there with me. You was like, man, we got about like 2 million followers put together. Like, we'll put you on the story. We'll put you on the story. We'll give you a little shout out. And I pulled out my phone. I gave him like a little 12-hour shout out. I did. I woke up and I was like, oh my goodness. They're all like, I took it down. But we used the bathroom.
We did get to use the bathroom.
That's funny though.
Now, from your first day selling cars to, let's say, the most recent highs of being Tom Hanks and Capital One salesperson of the year, did you ever think, going back to that first day you walked on a car dealership lot, that this is what your life would look like?
I want to say there's like a 75% chance. Like, I didn't know what scenarios would take place, but I knew I was going to be something. Like I knew I had creativity. I knew social media was my niche. I knew I was going to combine those 2 things to sell more cars. I didn't know it was going to have me in independent films, meeting Tom Hanks, shaking hands, Capital. I didn't know that, but I knew like I was going to be the guy where that's the car guy.
Yeah.
Like I seen that far. I didn't see this far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think anyone could have predicted that. Now, let's walk it back a minute. I mean, you start selling cars. I mean, do you whip your phone out day one and you're like, hey guys, Javuan Banks, I'm here selling cars. I just started. Come ask for me. Or was there like what did it look like when you first started to getting into the content?
Literally that. Like, I mean, if you go back to like some of my first posts on Instagram and even on TikTok, you'll see like I didn't have a certain thing that I was doing. I literally was pulling up the phone, taking videos of cars, editing the videos, putting music behind them, telling people, hey, I'm at Nissan, come get a car from me. Like, you can see that. So I always preach when I tell people about social media, just record. And then you be consistent and you're going to find something that works. And once you find that thing that works, you don't deviate from it. Keep tuning in on it. And
yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand that with repetition, 90% of people just get better. Like, yeah, there's that 10% of people that like could do it a million times over and not better themselves. But I think of it like this: if you go shoot 100 free throws every day, like you're just gonna naturally get a little bit better. You're gonna be like, hey, like I like the way my wrist flicks here.
Yeah.
And I like it off the backboard better. Like,
yeah,
it's just like that consistency is what's so important. A lot of people aren't willing to commit to that because my first social media videos didn't hit at all, dude. I did the same thing. Like videos with the cars and like music and like
Yeah.
terrible.
Nah, for sure. And I mean, I think one day, and this was before I posted my first video in St. Louis, right? When I was working at a Nissan in St. Louis. Then I moved out, and I was just the car guy. I was just posting me and my customers. So 2 years ago today, 3 years ago today, you'll see like a picture of me and my customer taking a picture. Then when I moved out to Dallas, where I'm at now, go to a Nissan store. I knew they'd hire me on the spot because I had Nissan. I was already Nissan certified, so it was like
Yeah.
you're getting a ready to go salesman, you know.
Yeah.
And then I meet my cameraman, Bells, super cool guy. He was 19 at the time. I was 21, going on 22. And we just clicked. And I think one day we were just bored on the lot. Like, man, let's go viral today. We literally said, let's go viral today. Let's just go viral. We try to get our manager in it. He don't want to be in it. He's like, man, like, no. Post the video, million views. Like, we're
That's
both
crazy.
like,
What was
oh,
the video?
it was the one where I act like I was punching a customer in the face. Yeah.
You get in trouble for it?
No. They actually they accepted my video. There was times when like legal of Nissan would message our GM and like, hey, like he needs to put this disclaimer in his video, or like it would get super viral, like 12 million views viral. And like there'd be times where like you should take this video down or you need to put this disclaimer in there, but never like don't post. It was never don't
What
post.
disclaimer did they want in the video?
Okay, so I did a video on Gap insurance, and I was like, "You got Gap?" Because he was like flipped, and I was like, you know, and yeah, so it was around those lines, and then the disclaimer was like, Nissan does not recommend this, and we don't recommend that you do this, you know, activity. I never said total it, but I was like giving that. I was just like,
You know what to do.
yeah, yeah. So like that made it all the way to Japan or whatever, corporate of Nissan, yeah. But that's when I knew I was on, like, we was on some big stuff around that time. Like, oh, snap.
So me and Javuan are both signed to the same like talent agency, and our talent agent, like I feel like even though he sold cars, like doesn't get that. He's like, "Can you hop on a call next Tuesday at 3:00?" I'll be like, "Maybe."
Maybe.
I don't know.
They're like, Javon, we need this posted. Bro, I'm signing a customer right now. Like,
Dude, and that's like the greatest thing about car sales is like you can make your own schedule, do what you want when you want, but when a customer walks in front of you, like you gotta drop what you're doing.
that's a fact. That's a fact. They're the most important at that moment.
And dude, like I love it, but I could hate it sometimes. Like you could be in the middle of like something so important, and then it's like, "Hey, Russ, need you to take a customer. No one else is free." And I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
busy. But
And it's a up too. So you don't even know like where this could lead to. This could be quick or this could be like all day.
yeah, Javuan, do me a favor. Give me the secrets to what it takes to make a viral video.
You gotta look like this, baby.
uh,
No, I'm just kidding, bro. Honestly, you have a hook, you have a funny ending, or a good ending. It don't have to be funny. I know comedy is a universal trick to go viral. If it's funny, it goes viral, right? If you're not funny, then you need to have information that's viral. You know, like information that people didn't know. But you have to start off with a hook. You have to grab their attention, and you have to have a good ending, or they need to be satisfied by the end of the video. The shorter, the better. But TikTok has it to where like you need to be over a minute, so like you need to make it. You know,
I feel like the over a minute is like an experienced creator problem, or like somebody just getting started like doesn't like think about when you first started. Like it didn't matter. Like
it didn't matter, right? Exactly. So it made it harder for us. I'm gonna say harder, but it made, like you said, it's more of an experienced creator's problem. So like honestly, like I said, the shorter the better. If you're underneath a minute, if you can make someone laugh or give somebody some useful information quick, they're satisfied by the end of the video. It didn't take them too much of their time. They get that dopamine release, like, I'm glad I seen this video.
Yeah.
You know, you're viral.
You know, the whole over a minute thing kind of annoys me. Like for anyone listening, like TikTok pays you for views, like every other app does, but they have this stigma that, or not stigma, but they have this condition that the video has to be over a minute long. So if you make a video that's 59 seconds long and it gets 50 million views, you don't get paid a penny. If it's a minute long, you get paid a lot of money for it. And like just today, my coworker came up and made a video of me, Mr. Smith 412, and he does like his typical like, "Hey Russ, let me ask you a question." He asked me a question, I answer it. Great video, dude. It was like a really good video, and it was 59 seconds. It was like He was like, "Can we redo it?" And I was like, "No, dude, just post it. You don't have to get paid on every video." And like, he ended up convincing me to make him redo it.
I mean, I'd probably be doing the same thing though.
Uh-huh.
I need to. I want every video to be monetized, especially if it's a banger.
Yeah. Speaking of bangers, I was doing some research. You got 24 million views on one video. What was that like?
24 million views on one video. And honestly, let me give you the secret sauce. This goes back to consistency. Cameraman was not here today. I remember this day. Cameraman was not here. I had not posted today. I knew I needed to. I was busy. I had to grab someone who doesn't normally record my videos. You know, so and I had to make an idea on the spot. It was late. So that in that video you could tell it was nighttime.
Yeah.
So I make a video, I make a script, I write it all down. This is my hook, this is the punchline, blah blah blah. I get someone and I'm like, you just gotta follow the script, bro. Honestly, we can wing it, but like just follow the script. And we go outside, we shoot this thing in one take. I upload it. I was already nervous because I'm like, it's too late. It's probably not gonna go viral. Like, but just be consistent, just show up. Post this thing. I'm probably at like 200,000 views before I'm like leaving the parking lot. I was
Wow.
like, whoa, like we got a banger. Like then we're at like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. I wake up, we're at like 5 million. I'm calling them like, bro, I appreciate you for making that video with me. This is the most viral video I posted.
That's crazy.
And it just went. And then like an article put it in their thing. Like it was crazy. Everybody, the world saw that video. It felt like the world saw that video that day.
Did you pay your friend who helped you make that?
No. No. He did it off the strength of his heart, you know? I
How
think
much did you make?
all that commission kind of went towards my camera guy.
How much did you make from that?
I think it was like 5 grand, 6 grand.
From
It was
one video.
from one video, bro.
That's nuts.
It really like went crazy, bro. It went
That's
crazy.
insane. That is
Yeah.
insane. I think my highest viewed 9 million. And I remember what that payday was like. So getting 6 grand from one video is just nuts. You remember what
Yeah.
your RPM on it was? Just curious.
I don't remember what my RPM on it was. Because my RPM always was fluctuating. I know at one period of time my RPM was like it was dropping. Like it was always fluctuating, then it was dropping. Then I was like getting pennies and I was like, bro, like they are robbing me. And then I was asking you, like, what are you getting? You're like, bro, I'm getting like $2-3 per RPM. And I'm like, bro, I'm getting like 30 cents, bro. Like, what's going on? Like, they robbing me. Then I think after like certain changes in TikTok, they started like boosting it back up, but
Yeah.
it was taking a minute. It took a minute.
So you got 24 million views from one video. How many followers did you get from that video?
Probably got like 50,000.
50,000 followers from one video.
Yeah, I think we grew. We actually probably grew like, it felt like we were at, let's just say, I'm just throwing out a number here. Let's just say we were at 100K. It felt like we were pacing to hit 200K after that video.
Yeah, just like that, dude. I
Yeah.
know that feeling. I can't say I've ever got 50,000 in a day, but I've definitely got upwards of 20, 30 in let's call it a couple days. And
Yeah.
it's, I mean, that grind to like, dude, my grind to 10,000 followers took me like 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then to get 20,000, 30,000 in a couple days is just crazy. It's like a snowball effect.
Nah, for sure. For sure. I agree.
Now, what would you say? Like, okay, so you're making viral content, you're getting all these views. Like, how was that translated into selling more cars? Because some people don't think it does translate.
Yeah, bro, you get these, and I'm sure you can relate. You get these random calls coming into the dealership, like, "Hey, does Javuan Banks like really work there?" Like, yeah, or like you'll just get a call transferred to you, like you have a customer online. Like, I'm not expecting no one to call. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Javuan, I watch your videos. Was trying to see like if you had. I went on your website. Was trying to see if this was still available. First, just want to let you know, like you're super hilarious. I love watching your videos. They make me laugh. This one's my favorite. I actually saw you on YouTube. I'd be like, dang. I don't need to be TikTok is where my bread and butter is. So YouTube,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like that. All right. And then here's the credit app. Let's see if you're real. Boom, fills that thing out. Next thing you know, you got a car deal that you didn't even know was coming your way. You didn't wake up planning on it today.
Yeah.
You know, like it just came through. And then we both have a link to where you can buy a car with me. So you'll get people filling that out. And you'll have to filter that one out a little bit. You can have like some people just playing around. Then you got some serious
Yeah.
people in there too. So they do translate, and it's sales that you wouldn't get.
Like, what was the craziest experience you've ever had with someone from social media?
Good question. I've had a few. I would say I don't know. I don't think I've had nothing like to the point where I would want to put it on a podcast.
Okay,
Jaquan Banks, did I put that or did you put that?
you put Jaquan Banks.
Can they read it? Can they see that too?
Nah, no one can see. That's just for me.
Okay. Okay,
You
okay.
got Jaquan Banks. I have one.
Jaquan.
I had one that was really good. So if anyone listening to this knows me, knows what I do social media content about buying cars, car sales skits, blah, blah, blah. I do a lot of car buying advice, which I do take pride in. I think it's very valuable advice, very real advice. I don't try to sugarcoat it because I think when you're giving value, give the real deal, give the real value. Go ahead. Here's how to buy a car. Here's how to negotiate against a really good salesman like myself. Use it
Yeah.
against me if you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I had this guy, long story short, comes, looks at it, doesn't even, he asks for me, doesn't, he just like, my friend told me to ask for you, and which is like, isn't super uncommon. I do get a good bit of referrals. So like, whatever, show him a car. He's like doing like the full 9 yards, like the walk around. Can you throw in mats? Like, we're going full
Wow.
top it off. Are there 2 keys? They
Wow.
asked all the right questions. We do the numbers, and he makes a very aggressive but reasonable offer. Definitely more advantageous for him, but it wasn't like one of those like, can you take 10 grand off? It was like, hey, $1,500 off and another 1,200 for my trade, and I'll buy right now. Like one of those offers, like pretty firm, like.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, dude, I like your style. You're pretty to the point. How'd you learn how to negotiate? And he goes, because I follow Russ Flips Whips.
Dude, that's fire, bro. Nah, that's crazy. That's
And
crazy.
I started
What you
laughing.
say?
I started laughing so hard, and I said, watch this. I called my manager. I just tell him the whole story. I said, hey, this guy come in, said his friend sent him. We're negotiating. He just made a semi-crazy offer. And I asked, me being me, I said, hey, how'd you learn how to negotiate? And he didn't tell me he followed me. And he goes, because I follow Russ Flips Whips. We should just go ahead and make this deal because this guy's funny. And we made the deal.
That's fire, bro. That's fire. I mean, hey, I think similar to that, somebody that watched me on, so I can kind of piggyback off of that one. Uh Super nice lady. She came in, she was pretty straight to the point too. Did her research like to the T. You could tell she watched you, of course, like to the T, but I didn't know this. And then we're signing everything, and she goes, funny story, like I'm scrolling last night and or the night before, and I'm watching you. I'm like, it would be me who gets like this content creator to be my salesman. I'm like, wait, so you knew who I was? She was like, yeah, but I didn't want to say that up off rip. She's like, I watched Russ Flips Whips and like go, and I seen you guys did this huge collab, and like so then I get on your page. Now I was like in the wheelhouse, and then I'm looking like who the person I've been talking with, and it's you. And like, I'm like, you didn't let me know that. She was like, there's a trick with like the element of surprise or whatnot. And I was like, I thought that was pretty cool. Well, I get to brag to Russ that you was like you were following him, but you're doing business with me. I appreciate
Right. Dude, I had this one guy at my church. He came up to me and he was like, Russ, there's this guy on social media who's hilarious. He looks just like you. And I'm like, oh yeah. What kind of content's he make? He gets car sales content. And I'm like, you sure it's not me? He's like,
it.
nah, no. But like he like pulls out his phone, shows me my page on Facebook. I go, that's me. He goes, yeah, I know, dude. Like if you made car sales content, this would literally be you. I'm like, no, that's me. He's like, no, like this guy works at like a Lincoln dealer. I'm like, yes, that's where I work.
Are
At
you
the Lincoln
serious?
dealer. Yeah, dude, he's like 75 though. Like he had no clue.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Like he
what's
might think
going on
people
here?
he might think people who make content like aren't real. Like I don't know what he was thinking, but
Yeah,
like,
that's
dude,
funny
there's like
though.
a whole group of men at my church. Like, no, like that's Russ. Russ, the guy's name is Russ Flips Whips. He was like, oh,
Bro, now that's something you got to record. Like, but of course, that's why you need the meta glasses, bro.
dude, right?
A moment like that, you got to capture that. That's
That's
so
like
real.
a skit right there.
Facts, like, no, it's me. I'm that guy. I feel
Now,
like we can make a skit right now.
you really think we could?
I got you, boss. You look like a 750.
I'm a 600.
You got me.
Do now let's be honest. I'll tell you my thoughts after. Do you think you're a better car salesman or a better content creator?
I think I'm a better content creator,
Do you?
hands down. Like, I'm not saying I'm not a good salesman. Like, I'm out here closing deals, like real life. Don't get it twisted. But as far as content, I think I could be in real estate and be a content creator, like a well-known content creator. I could be in, like, not saying I'm the best real estate agent, but I made myself the most marketable, like the most
Yeah.
known outside of them, you know? I think I'm better at content.
See, I think differently. I think if you stack me up against the best car salesman in America, I might not have the best sales numbers. I do pretty well, 20 to 30 Lincolns a month, which I think is respectable in its own right. Um, but I think if you stack me up against the best content creators versus the best car salesman, I'm closer to the best car salesman than the best content creators. I think there's a bigger gap between me and like the upper echelon of content creators versus me in the upper echelon of car salesmen. So looking at it like that, I would say I'm a better car salesman than content creator, but I do think my content has taken me much farther than selling cars ever could.
Right. No, I see what you're saying. Um, I just think me personally, there's just I don't and I'm only going off what people say, but like there's something about me that's likable, when you actually meet me in person. Whether
Who
that's
said that? I don't think you're likable at all.
I mean, you seem to love me, my guy. You gave me my first 100,000. Who does that with somebody they don't like? You know what I'm saying?
There's a difference between like and pity.
Ah, I got you.
I'm kidding.
I got you. That's a good one. But nah, so like whether you send me on your phone, it's like a gravitation, or like in person, if you don't know me before I was making content, I'm going to be the guy who's selling you your car.
Mhm.
I seem to build a lot of trust that way. I think it's not like some sales tactic or some pitch that I'm doing I'm just being me, bro. I'm just being real. I always keep it
Mhm.
real. And they like that like authenticity, that I have. And so like I think that conveys on camera, which helps me be a better content creator.
See, if I'm being like really self-aware, I don't think I come off as somebody that's like really likable. Not that I'm somebody that's not likable, but I think I come off as somebody that just like gets it done, like gets the job done, like somebody you
Yeah.
want to do business with. Like, yeah, we might not be buddy buddy, but like I think that's why I get a lot of repeats and referrals. Like, I just handle business. Like
No. This how you say it. You stand on business.
I
Rest.
stand, I stand on business. Am I saying it properly, Johan?
Business. Bidness.
I
I
stand
s-
on the business.
you are Karen. You
This
are.
is why we need a movie. Speaking of movies, let's talk about, which is a great thing to talk about, your car sales that led to social media has now led to a movie.
It has. Russ Flips Whips. It has led to an independent film movie. I think it's gonna be hilarious. I think it'll be hilarious. We haven't fully shot the whole movie. We did like a concept, basically like a little trailer to lead up to the movie.
Yeah,
And I mean, these guys were like, once it was time to shoot, they had the lights, they had the cameras, they had the little lights, camera action. Scene one, take three. I was like, oh my goodness, it's real life, like movie. Felt
yeah.
good, felt great. I'm waiting to see like what the final edits and stuff look like, and then I mean they're ready. I'm ready because I think that can take me next level and put me like on the big screen one day.
Dude, that'd be wild. Like you're in like a Jurassic Park movie.
Bro, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I think that would build my relationship with my followers so good because it's like I don't get here without y'all, And it's like they know like, bro, I've been watching your videos since this, and now you're in a movie. I'm watching that movie just because he's in that movie.
Yeah.
Like that'll be fire, bro.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. It's crazy, man. You're in a movie, selling cars. Tom Hanks, Salesman of the Year. I mean, Javon Banks is really living life right now.
Living life like Larry, baby.
Your parents proud of you?
They are. I mean, they tell me every day. They tell me every day. I love my mom. My mom, my dad, my stepmom. I love them like that. I mean, I have a really good support system, bro. Really good support system. So like, and I dropped out of college.
Me
So
too.
like hey, that's nice. Not nice, but That's why we yin yang, bro. But yeah, I think a lot of car salesmen probably did. I think that's a majority of car salesmen. If I had to like put my thought to it, sure, there's a stat that backs that up, but you know,
Mm.
but yeah, I dropped out, and so like I wasn't like we put all this money into me. I was going to like a private school. It took me a long time to get to that private school because we was like in the city, but the private school was like out in, the good neighborhood or whatever.
Uh,
And we'd have to like we went the extra mile just for me to go there. And then I get to a good college and then I'm just like, nah, like I'm done. So it's like, bro, I'm happy that I'm doing something that they can be proud of as well. Like, it went good in something. Like he's doing, we raised them right. They can be like, we raised them right.
I'm pretty sure my grandmother cried when I told her I was dropping out of college to sell cars.
Really?
Hey,
Yeah. I mean,
here
it
we
was
are.
definitely a tough subject to tell my grandma. I remember that.
She's like, no, don't be one of those used car salesmen, Jaquan.
Saquon! Bro, I gotta fix that.
It's fine. We're about to wrap up here. Javuan, thanks so much for being on. I love to ask everyone this last and final question. This whole podcast. I just like to have fun with my buddies and anyone that comes on it, learn a little bit about how you came up and all that good stuff. But to anyone listening, why should they get started on social media? How do they get started? Just kind of give like a little inspirational ending to this whole thing on what social media has done for you and why anybody watching like that hasn't picked up their phone and hit record should hit record.
All right, cool. So if you're not doing social media, you're living in 1980, bro. Straight up. You got to be on social media. There are 30-year-olds who have a fan base on social media. 40-year-olds have a fan base on social media. 60, 70-year-olds have a fan base on social media. It's not an old thing. It's not a I don't understand it thing. It's you just have to be willing to do it. And
Mm,
once that door opens for you, bro, you'll never look back. I don't think there's any content creator that's making content right now saying, I wish I didn't make content.
right.
Like it's extra money. It can like broaden your audience and your reach. Whatever business you have, it'll explode. It'll only increase your business,
Mhm.
explode your business. And I think the main thing is just getting in front of that camera and repetition, like we was talking about earlier. Post, bro. The first few posts are not gonna. They probably won't go viral. Let's be real. Like they
Yeah.
won't go viral.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, and you really shouldn't want to go viral too quick, too soon, because then you'll get like a spoiled head and you won't know how to act when that post doesn't go viral. I
Yep.
feel
Right.
like, me and you both, we'll post a video, we think it's the one, and it doesn't do anything. But we come tomorrow, the next day, it doesn't do anything. Now today, we probably expect it won't do nothing. We're just showing up, million views,
Yeah.
you know?
So
So
true. So true.
like, so like just consistency, keep it going. And I mean, we're
When I
living
was
proof of that.
when I was making my training the other day, I was kind of trying to like have like a little module segment about convincing people to do it. And aside from you're going to get more business, more repeats and referrals. Your owner base is just going to follow you, and you're going to see them every day, and all these advantageous reasons to be in front of people every single day. But I was like, aside from that, you can get paid to post. Think of it like this: 15 years ago, if you were a salesman wanting to get your name out there, you had to go around and put up flyers at the local bar or restaurant or whatever it might be, and you had to pay for a radio ad or a billboard, or you had to pay your way. And now, me and you are getting paid to advertise the cars we get paid to sell. Isn't that crazy?
Fire, fire. Like we really hacked the system, bro.
Yeah.
We really hacked the system. And then one last thing to like end that on is you have this trail of work years from now that you can go back and look at. Like maybe, your kids get older. It's like, bro, back in my day, we had this app called TikTok and YouTube. You go on there, you'll see videos from 15 years ago with millions of views. That's how I looked. I was cracking jokes. Like,
And we'll be able to prove it too. It won't be like some wise tale.
exactly. Like you can go watch for yourself. It's on the internet. It's not going nowhere.
That's crazy. All right, thanks so much for being on, Javuan. Hang out with me for 5 minutes after I hit record here. To anyone listening, thanks so much for checking out the podcast. Let me know in the comments who you want me to have on the show next. Let me know what questions you want answered by the next interviewer. And as always, for more content like this, go ahead, Javuan.
Follow Javuan Banks and
Follow
Restless
Javuan
Whips.
Banks. Yeah,
Hey, you gotta do a dance. You gotta do a dance, bro. You gotta do a
All right.
dance. Let me see that dance, bro. Let's get that dance.
You want to see me too? You see, I don't have the
2-step, not going to 2-step, not going to 2-step. Hey, hey.
Let me see your 2-step.
Cut the camera, bro.
My brother's gonna die when he sees this.
Cut the camera. Hey, Hunter. Hey, stop him right now. He just pin dropped. Oh man. Thanks for having me, bro.
That's the hook to this podcast. Like, what the hell are these guys doing?
Let's go, bro.
I'm not even gonna tell Hunter we put this in the podcast. Okay. All right, guys. Here's the real ending of this podcast. Like I said, when me and Javuan get together, it always gets a little out of hand. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go follow Javuan Banks. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you next week.
Peace.